Maritime is essential to any nation's economy, as over 90% of the world's trade is carried by sea, and it is the most effective way to move huge volumes of goods and raw materials around the world. The survival of the maritime industry in any country depends to a considerable extent on the level of aggregate demand for shipping services and the country's shipping lines' market share. The latter depends on the operational efficiency of the lines, and the former on how well the country is performing. Using the trend in the total number of vessels and the cargo throughput of Nigerian ports, there is an observable growth in the demand for shipping services in Nigeria. On this informative note, I warmly welcome you to Maritime Update. I am Norma Obiaswalo. On a weekly basis, Maritime Update brings to you activities within the maritime sector and its connected industries. The nature of the Nigerian economy, which is import-dependent, and oil economy which boasts high export cargo, indicates that the maritime industry will continue to be relevant to the nation's economy, which would in turn require that modern infrastructures as well as adequate maritime security are provided. In this episode, we will be looking at apt policies that will engender the repositioning of the maritime sector. First, issues and developments that make news in the sector. Stay with us. NSC boss in Ghana seeks framework to harmonize trade laws in Africa. Clearing agents operating in the nation's seaports laments the technical issues associated with the NICIS-2. Amechi says Nigeria needs 16.56 trillion naira for rail projects. And now the main news. The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Mr. Hassan Bello, has advocated for a legal framework that will provide for uniform laws and processes among African countries to facilitate trade in the sub-region. Bello made this call when he led a delegation on a courtesy visit to his Ghanaian counterpart, Ms. Benonita Bismarck, at the Shippers Authority, Accra. During the visit, he said that the creation of a legal framework will help eliminate barriers to trade in the sub-region, adding that there is need to introduce the framework to the Union of African Shippers so that the processes of uniformity could start. The NSC boss, stating further, affirmed the importance of infrastructure in Africa, as there is a great infrastructural deficit in the region, and trading within the African countries is very low at 14% when compared to other local regions, which are about 80%. He also emphasized the importance of rail connectivity, which he feels should be promoted. Bello also informed his host of the projects being promoted by the council, which includes the truck transit parks and the inland dry ports, as part of efforts to facilitate cargo clearance at the Nigerian ports. In her response, Bismarck lauded the Nigerian Shippers Council effort at addressing bottlenecks faced by the shippers in the international trade, saying that the Ghana Authority will continue to learn from the successes recorded in Nigeria. Clearing agents operating in the nation's seaport have lamented delays in cargo clearance due to recurring technical hitches and network failure associated with the new customs automation platform known as the Nigeria Customs Integrated System, NICIS-2. The delays experienced is with registering relevant data and the issuance of password by customs. In its response, the Public Relations Officer Tinkan Island, Port Command of the Nigerian Customs Service, Uche Ejesieme, said that the technical challenges being experienced in the NICIS-2 implementation is beyond customs, saying that he agrees that there are bound to be challenges, but that their technical partner is working round the clock to address the situation. Ejesieme added that the implementation of the NICIS-2 platform has helped increase the command's revenue collection, as the revenue for the first quarter was 76 billion naira, and in just April, 28.4 billion naira was generated. This, he said, has not happened in the history of Tinkan, as this period is normally characterized with low volume of trade. The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, during a joint inspection of the Lagos-Ibadan Standard Rail Gauge, says the Nigeria needs not less than 16.56 trillion naira to construct its 3 major speed rail lines. Amechi said although the government has no funds to finance the projects, The 3-speed rail line projects Lagos to Kano, Lagos to Calabar, Port Harcourt to Maiduguri were crucial to the federal government, and that the president has directed him to source for funds due to the importance of the projects. The minister also said that the Chinese are funding the Lagos to Kano rail project, and they are speaking with the Russian Exim Bank for the funding of any of the rail projects. Speaking on the 156-kilometer Lagos to Ibadan rail project, Amechi said not fewer than 7,000 jobs has been created by the project, saying they are working to meet the December 2018 completion deadline. If you have just joined us, this is Maritime Update reaching you courtesy of the Nigerian Shippers Council. For details, please read the Nigerian Shippers Council on our email, website, or better still, text the number showing on your screen. Do you know that the Port Service Support Portal PSSP is a complaint management and service support solution aimed at addressing business-to-business transaction problems in the Nigerian ports? Take a look.
Welcome to Port Support Services, otherwise called the PSSP. The PSSP, as it is popularly known, is an initiative of the Nigerian Shippers Council created to serve the public better. Just to help you navigate the portal, first log on to the website www.pssp.ng. There you'll find the basic information about PSSP, information on partners of the project standard operating procedure of the partners of the PSSP, and frequently asked questions, contact information. With the PSSP of the Nigerian Shippers Council, members of the public will be able to make complaints using the complaint form, track the status of the complaint, and make inquiries or give a feedback using the contact form. To submit a complaint, open your web browser and type www.pssp.ng. The home page will load. Click on the Make a Complaint. The login page will display, but you will need to be registered on the portal to be able to submit a complaint. If it's the first time of submitting a complaint, click on either the Register button or the Register link. To register, you will need to apply your email address, display name and password. After completing these fields, you should click on the Register button. If you have previously created an account, simply log in by supplying your email address and password. After you have successfully logged in, you should see the complaint form. The system assumes you are the main complainant. The complaint form has 5 sections: complaint details, service provider details, event or service description, other details, complaint description. In addition, you will find the yes and a no button, and this is how it works. Using the yes or no button indicates you are complaining on behalf of a company. If you're complaining on behalf of someone, you have to give us their details by clicking on the Add Detail button, then click on the Next button. From the pop-up list, select the type of company your complaint is about from the agency list and select the company from the company's list.
Now to the guest of the week. He is John Egesi, former DG, National Maritime Authority. In this interaction, he spoke to us on the strategies that will boost export, which will give the industry the necessary competitive advantage. Stay with us. As a maritime expert, what are the issues you have identified that is hampering maritime development?
It is this very fact: misinformation, misdirection of the people that carry out that, the policy, that bring out the policies. If ab initio from the beginning, maritime does not start just with a ship in the sea. When the people that are in charge, like the president, with his cabinet, the ministers, are not well advised, and the people at the parliament, that is the Senate and the Senate, are also a little bit misinformed. It's not their fault, but it will be their fault to the extent that they tend to seek advice according to political feelings, because development has no political feelings. If there is no Gary, there is no Gary. And once our politicians realize that, they'll start looking for people to solve our problem, not people to come and chop. I don't know whether you understand me. I know this is not the answer you're expecting. You're expecting that maybe we have no sheep. That's not the answer. Because the issue of sheep will come much, much later when the policies are right, when the people in charge are well advised. They will now say, oh, maybe this is not really our problem. You see, because when the beginning is good, there may not be a problem down the road. Maritime is way down the road in the preparation of maritime development.
So what are policies or strategic plans would you prefer
Yes.
than gender repositioning of the sector?
What would I prefer? I would prefer one that first, the government should, in all ramification, want to develop the maritime sector. You see, the objective, the genuine objective, is what brings out the result. The government talks maritime, they set up things and they put anybody they like around them. I'm not talking of chief executives now. I'm not talking of places like Shippers Council or Ports Authority or that. That's not even the point. But people to advise the government, what are their intentions? Do they actually want the maritime sector to develop? If the intentions are right, they will say, who can help us? You will hear phone calls. Say, please, do you know anything about this thing? Because if you don't have good advisors, you cannot have good policies. If you don't have good policies, you cannot solve problems. That is it. There is no problem in the maritime sector. None.
Aside from the appointing the right people to advise them.
Absolutely.
So if we don't get that, there is no way we can talk about policies.
We can't do good policies. If I give you good policy and you went and get a truck pusher to carry it out, will it work? I'm sorry, please, truck pushers, don't be offended. I'm not looking down on anybody. But if that is his job, or you get a doctor, that is his job. You know, I don't want to use the word professional because in shipping, there are various specializations. It is not the captains of ships, no. It is not the victualers, no. It is not the marine engineers, everybody. It's not the maritime economics or the maritime scientists like us. You know what I'm saying?
So in other words, to get the right policies in place, we have to start from getting
the right people. Right. And you will see that the industry will boomerang and say, that's the right person. If the proper advisors were sitting there with the government and telling the government, this should come before this and then that. Don't do things according to political expediency. We built a port.
So moving away from these challenges you have identified.
Yes.
And the industry has to be repositioned, to meet in line with global trends. Yes. To attract huge vessels and enhance the nation's economy. How do we move away from these identified challenges?
Now, the challenges are, I know what you mean by challenges. You don't have shipping companies that own ships, that go ocean. Don't forget that I used to be director of operations in the old National Maritime Authority. One of my problems when I was in government was getting our ship to carry cargo. We are the founding directors of the present-day NIMASA. Myself, people like Akinfie, Dr. Ekong, who came from Shippers Council, by the way. He was the first DG of the place. We stay in the office till midnight, trying to figure out the answers to our problem. We formed what you call Form C. Already the policy has been given to us. Once you don't allow a child to learn how to walk, he may become a cripple. This thing in maritime sector is happening in all other departments of government. That's why we don't have perfections. That's why you say young people are not lazy. Young people are kind of, they suffer from anomie. They don't see why they should even be perfect. If they are perfect, they can't get a job. Another person is put in that job when somebody has read and become very good in it.
You mean with these challenges, we can't attract huge vessels into the country?
No. Vehicles will be bringing in cargo. It's not a question of attracting them. They bring cargo. They want to make business. It is import. We are an importing country. You know what I'm saying? We are an importing country. When we make ourselves attractive, ask me, how do we make ourselves attractive? We make ourselves attractive by having cargo for the ships to carry within Nigeria. Without it, we are just whistling in the wind. When the wind is, you are whistling, they won't know the difference between the whistle and the wind. Until we put our priorities right, shipping will not be a problem. At least the side of problem it is now, having conferences upon conferences. Shipping is all about cargo. And if the country develops, some of the problems are government, but some of the problems are private sector. It's not only government. I'm not lashing government and it is not this regime, nor is it the one following. It is something that started way before them. But they are not helping matters because everybody is going exactly how the other ones have gone.
So how do we go about?
Get good advice that love the country. The first step on any, I don't even want to talk of maritime. I like to talk about transport. Part of my degree is Charter Institute of Transport. Maritime is part of the transport linkages. That's all it is. It's like goods that travel by road and is continued by sea, non-stop. Intermodality. Are you getting my point? Now, if you want maritime to develop, you must make the country industrial. You must industrialize the country.
How do we move away from being an import-based country to exporting? Our cargoes go empty.
Very good. Very good. And their cargoes go empty. And, you know, I could go into the cost of cargo. You know, we pay for that empty time that goes. Before the cargo cost, they calculate what it will cost them to go back empty. So we pay double. If we produce things, even if they come to import, to bring things here, the cargo, so we don't have to pay that, but we pay double. We pay for that empty cargo going back. We pay for it. It's worked into their destiny.
What do we need to put in place to expect that, for our cargoes to go back with goods?
With goods. Very good. Industrialization. The day this country is properly industrialized, people will be begging these children to come and work, pursuing them, buying them cars. But because of consistent bad policies, see what it has cost.
Okay, looking at port congestions.
Yes.
What solutions or what will you prefer to address the port congestion?
Port congestion. When you say port congestion, you're talking of the gridlock at Apapa Road. Which port congestion? Is it port congestion of 1977? No, you meet the gridlock, isn't it? Again, you see, it's policy again. I'm coming. It's policy. There's no need for that. Where are the railways? There was a meeting they had, I think, early in the year, and MPA said that the reason there has been this gridlock is because the consignors didn't have an empty cargo bay, an empty container bay. Okay. You know, do they have a point? They have a point. Good. The consignor themselves said it's the bad road that, you know, these people couldn't move. What other thing they said? You know, obvious things that it is, and each one of them has a point. It has a point, each of the problem they said. But why did that problem exist? There is a reason why the roads are bad, and then they started profiling what you may call short-term solution. The rolling one now is when they are repairing the 2-kilometer road, Wharf Road, you know, by the government, the federal government, you know, contract being given to Dangote, I think, you know, These roads were like that before. They are doing it again. Very good. These are short-term things. And then the Apapa local government build barriers. You know what I mean? Which drives this thing into the villages, making life inside the Ajegule and all the environment of the port impossible to move around with. And then there is the latest one by the Western Command of the Navy. You know, the call-up cards. They call you, you come and pick whatever it is. Those are not, they will just for a while. The problem has not been solved because it's creating problems. Like they say in England, you kick the can down the road. The can is not yet dealt with. Are you getting it? You just kick it down the road. But this road is a very short one. It's not even long enough to have any real effect.
Some experts in the transport sector want to say that technology will get rid of this gridlock. Some people will say the core cards, you know, technology. These are
short term.
People will say the truck transit park, which the Shippers Council is part of the innovation the Shipper's Council is promoting. So you mean this national strategy has to be put in place before whatever technology, whatever thing.
This thing could solve it up to a moment, and the government may earn kudos, whichever government is sitting down. While the government that may come in may be the same. You know what I mean? We have to deal with the realities. You see, the people that has ruled the country have never seen the country as one. Because I can't understand how you could not have a rail. You know what I'm saying? Carrying a tanker oil, you know what I mean? To depots outside the place, outside the various appointed place in the country, or containers being deposited into what you call internal customs ports. Internal customs ports at Enugu, my state, I would like one to be there, you know, Kaduna, all the other places, Sokoto, so that if you import anything, you just wait for it at your port at Sokoto.
So you are
and yes,
you are saying that because I just want to get this port congestion because it's a serious,
I know
it's a serious issue.
It is.
Your submission is
yes,
that whatever strategies that they are putting in place are short-term strategies.
No. They are correction.
So,
they are not strategies.
okay.
They are just tactical things to get by. Strategies are long-term.
So what are the structures in long-term or short-term that should be put in place to address this port congestion?
Good road system, good rail system, rail and road. And where there is need, port. Some cargoes that are like cargo of flowers in a distance could be taken by flight. Are you getting my point? You know, intermodality. I don't want to speak grammar. I want what the common man will understand.
So that means it's purely an infrastructural issue.
It is. It is bad planning. Okay. It is national bad planning. The day I heard that, not that I don't know, that the shippers are mentioned, I see this, I said, these people, that's it. That is simply it. Ask me, how does he operate? A cargo that is going, is already put together. It's going straight. It doesn't waste time. So there won't be trucks coming there coming all the way from Sokoto or from Kano or to come and carry cargo here. What for? They go there. And there will be less pressure on the roads. There will be less pressure on the roads. You see, if you don't plan very well, it's just for another day. The whole thing will scatter. And there are certain cargoes that should be carried on a tarmac. Steel cargoes that are heavy, they should go by rail. What you call express rail to the whatever port they are going. You know, we have to think, plan the roads, plan the rail. Are you getting me? Seriously, not politically. It must pass by my village. You know, you look at areas. To solve the problem of my power by military, do a secular thing that ends certain, you know what I mean? And do the feeders. You know what I'm saying? To the center, to the side, to the center, to the side. Very simple. So everybody travels a short distance to where their cargo is. If I have my cargo, why should I carry cargo here? And all the policemen along the road to Enugu will take half of the money I use in buying the cargo. If the cargo travels to where, you just travel, you come there, and that is it. And they'll give you a time.
You have submitted that there are huge potentials in industry. That's been established. So how do we improve human capital development to harness these enormous potentials that is existing in the industry?
Everybody knows that training. But when you say training, it's very easy to say training. You train for what? Training must have a purpose like you do in the private sector. If I have a company and a photographic company, I got to train somebody that knows how to operate lenses. They are not easy. And they come back, they start manning the lenses. But if you train them and say, sit down here and be cleaning the floor, you've created a problem. There is no linkage between our training and the job because there is no study of what is required. No study of it because there is no motivation to go anywhere. We always bounce back to where we have to recreate this country. It's very important to recreate it. When I say recreate it so that there may be a national spirit. A national spirit that you have when Nigeria is playing in another country. That is sort of spirit you want in Ministry of Transport, in Ministry of Development, in Ministry, anywhere. When that spirit, you see a country will develop within 5 years, you won't recognize it. When you train people, you train them with a job waiting. And if your brother, people who like nepotism, does not know the job, don't go and pick your brother to train, please. Give him an opportunity to take an exam with others. If he passes, good. Use the same principle they use in secondary school, in elementary school. Children take exam and pass. Those who didn't pass, stay behind. The same thing should happen in government. The same thing should happen in other places. But what you see, day in, day out, is power play. And when power plays without any responsibility, it's anarchy and lack of development.
Your submission is fair play for all.
Absolutely.
I must thank you most kindly for coming on Maritime Update. It's been John Egesi. He is the former DG, National Maritime Authority, NMA. Many thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Ma, for inviting me. I'm very delighted. Thank you.
And that's where we draw the curtain on Maritime Update this week. I must thank you most kindly for being a part of this week's edition. This show promises to bring you a better package next week. For more details, you can contact the Nigerian Shippers Council on our email, website, or text the number on your screen. You can also subscribe and view this episode or any of our previous episodes on our YouTube channel, Maritime Update. I am Norma Obiaswalo. Until I come your way again next week, it's goodbye.